Welcome to This Works Marketing, where 3 decades of proven experience has launched products, built brands, and generated profits. These are the stories behind the businesses that have been built. Today on This Works Marketing, we're going to talk about how the latest news that came out with Google and Walmart can affect businesses in the future. Hey everybody, my name's Ken Carey. I'm a direct sales expert for the last 30 years, working with big companies, small companies, entrepreneurs, and every size company in between, all the way up to the biggest brands in the world. And we have generated over $6.5 billion in sales for our clients over the last 3 decades. So I want to talk a little bit today because I think anybody who's paying attention to what's going on in the business world is that Google and Walmart made an announcement this week about how Google Assistant is going to drive people to Walmart. And I think it's really interesting. I'll get a little into it, but I don't know all of what their plans are with it. But from a perspective of marketing and selling perspective, I definitely have a point of view on that. And but most importantly, I want to say to businesses that this is a shot over the bow. You need to start really, in one man's opinion, you really need to start paying attention to what's happening. And what's happening is that as these online retailers are finding ways to get people to do business with them, or as they partner up with other people, it's becoming more and more obvious that they're going to have a strategy at retail as well as their e-tail sites. So here's what happens. So Google decides they're going to partner up with Walmart. You go to your Google Assistant and you say, Google, order me diapers. And that sends you to Walmart. So what happens there? Or one of their other it's Walmart was one specifically, but it can send you to other retailers as well. But the point I'm trying to make is the fact that you used your voice to order a product should be eye-opening, or in this case, ear-opening. Because what's happening is that when you're saying, order me diapers, and it takes you to Walmart, what are you going to do? What are you going to get from Walmart when you say order me diapers? Are you going to get Loves? Are you going to get Pampers? Are you going to get the Walmart branded diaper? What are you going to get? So that's really, really important, because I want to back that up a little bit to same thing that Amazon would be doing the same thing. But let's just say Amazon is not really into the retail space yet. Of course, they purchase Whole Foods. They have some kind of relationship with Kohl's. But Walmart and Google is a little bit more specific, product driven. But let's go back to the Amazon for a second. So Amazon has the same thing. You say to Alexa, order me diapers. And Alexa sends you diapers. And Alexa's going to send you Amazon's diapers. They're going to send you Mother Bear. Mother Bear is their brand. They're going to send you Mother Bear. Unless you said, send me Pampers, you're going to get their branded Pamper. You're going to get their branded diapers. That's dangerous. That's dangerous for you as a marketer and a product manufacturer, because the consumer is ordering what they want. Some people will order the brand they want. Some people are just cost conscious and just going to say the cheapest diapers possible, and they're going to be Mama Bears from Amazon because they can make them at a lower cost. So you as a marketer, you as a product owner, or you as a manufacturer of diapers, you just got cut out of the situation unless you do a couple of things. One is you market your brand, and two, I'm going to go back to one. One, you market your brand everywhere your customer is, that whole customer journey that I've been talking about for many months now. And two is how are you going to differentiate yourself from your competition? It's very difficult for companies to, a lot of companies just don't have the marketing dollars that the big consumer packaged goods companies has, or the biggest brands in the world. They just don't have the luxury of doing 30-second branding ads, spending tens of millions of dollars, and hope that there is a point of sale record somehow, whatever the marketing matrix and results they're getting that they're making these decisions on. That's becoming more and more difficult, because as we are talking to companies and the biggest brands in the world, they have to be accountable, much more accountable to their dollars and where they're spending them. And because they don't have the tens of millions to spend, it's even, the onus on them is even more, because they have to be really accountable to where their dollars are going. So to my point is this: you want to get a consumer to say, order my brand of diapers, not just diapers because Amazon is just going to sell you what they have, therefore cutting you out. But if you have been able to make a piece of marketing communication that says, here's why our diaper is better than the competition, or here's what you need to know about our diaper. It has 20% more absorbency, it's 50% softer, or whatever the claims you have, and you tie that to your brand, now you're branding and you're selling. That message is very difficult to do in 30 seconds. And I'm just talking about a diaper. Talk about, take the doors off and talk about all the products and services that you can go into on how difficult it is to tell that story. So I'm gonna just jump forward back to the Walmart Google thing. So same thing's happening there. You say, I want diapers on your Google Assistant, and it goes to Walmart, and Walmart, you can put it in your Walmart Express shopping cart, and you can get it that way. But again, did you specify what kind of diapers that you wanted? Because if you didn't, you're going to get the store brand, okay? And I've talked about this a little bit, but I'm going to talk about it a little bit more because I have some more numbers. But let's just talk about Amazon alone. Amazon's private label business is over $140 million. Oh, excuse me, break that up. Over $140 billion. And they have little less than 150 private labels for Amazon, and then they have another 100 and something that are partnerships, which they call exclusives, that you can't get anywhere else, just on Amazon. That is not going to decrease. That's only going to increase. And then, so obviously, Google and Walmart are working on their own little concoction of that. We don't know what it is yet, but the two shots over the bow for marketers of products and services are, this is not something that may happen, something that's in the future that we need to pay attention to in another time. You need to pay attention to it now, because it's happening and they're going to figure it out. And if you are not in a position where you have branded and sold your product, you're going to get cut out because they're already starting it. Now, your life rope, in my opinion, is building your own direct-to-consumer channel. Because when you can advertise your product or service, sell directly to your customer, and now you have that relationship with them, and you can put them on a situation where they can buy more diapers, or they can buy baby powder or baby oil because you know who that customer is. It doesn't matter what Google and Amazon does. It doesn't matter. You don't care, because they're going to do their own thing, but you can do your own thing. Now, the beauty of that is, as I said, this is happening now. So you really start, actually, you should be making this decision like yesterday to invest in building a direct-to-consumer channel, because it doesn't happen overnight. It takes some time. It takes some time to earn that customer and build that database. But once you get that database to that tipping point, Now you have a sustainable business, and it doesn't matter what the big monster behemoths do. You're going to have those channels, and they're going to work for you, providing that you have enough money to advertise high up on a search on Amazon and Google. That's another cost you have to think about. And then eventually you're going to have to fight against their own private label, which is another cost you have to think about. It's going to get to the point where you can't even do business on those channels anymore because they're pushing you out. They're pushing you out through their data, their information, their cost structures that you can't work in. Now, this is not for everybody. It's not a global statement for every product or service. But the point is that the cat's out of the bag. It's happening. And the sooner you start building your direct-to-consumer channel and marketing directly to your potential clients, getting them part of your ecosystem, helping them understand why they want your diapers, and your diapers are tied to your brand, that you're going to have a hold of that customer because A, you gave them a great product, B, you took care of them, C, you informed them with other products, you didn't spam them, you treated them really, really well. And research shows that a customer, when they're treated well, when they have a great product, they will tend to pay a little bit more for that. They're okay with that as long as they're being taken care of. Now, are there going to be the undercutters and the people racing to the bottom for the price? Absolutely. And some people are just going to take that and, you know what, let it go. You can't fight it anyways. But for the people that you're taking care of and the customers that you're building and the relationship you're building, that's going to give you so much more potential to grow your business in the future when all these other outside influences start to come in and take over, because it's going to happen. It's already started, and you need to start thinking about this yesterday and start acting on it now. So how you do that is really up to you. I happen to know, and through our experience and expertise, that direct-to-consumer model and attracting customers through a direct-to-consumer model on television, social, digital, all these other channels. I just happen to know we do that very well. There's a lot of companies that do that well. It's not everybody in advertising. They don't do that well. A lot of people in advertising, they brand well and they spend money well, but do they make you money? That's the question you need to ask. How are you making me money? How are you using my marketing dollars and showing me a return on investment immediately? Not 6 months from now, not a year from now. You know, how are you doing that? That's the first question you need to ask. And then realize that there's an answer to, you can educate, you can sell, you can brand, and you can understand the money you put in today, what you're going to get back tomorrow. So now you can make financial decisions on how you're going to move forward in your marketing. And that's really what direct-to-consumer marketing is. So as this news comes out, I just wanted to bring a little bit of clarity to what that really means. And then I am pretty darn sure that Amazon is going to have their own news pretty soon that goes beyond what they've done with other retailers, especially what they're going to do for themselves. I think it's pretty darn clear that Amazon is going to take care of Amazon first, and then everyone else is going to have to react and figure out their own kind of way. Google may be doing it a different way, but they're already starting to do it to get people into their ecosystem. And if your business model doesn't fit in their ecosystem, you're vulnerable. You're going to have a problem. And there is a way out, but you have to act on it. And I firmly believe that in probably 3 to 5 years, if you haven't made a significant investment to figure out how to make that work for you and your business, you're going to be playing catch up. And that's not a good place to be, especially when you're talking about these behemoths that have a lot of money and have a lot of attention. You can create your own attention, you can separate your product from everybody else, and you can build that direct-to-consumer relationship first, because when it gets big out there, and by that time you're going to have your own database, you're going to be able to sustain, and you're going to be able to profit without worrying about what they're going to do. So I wanted to give as much clarity to that as where I see that is today, and I hope that was helpful, because I just happen to have, well, not me, but our company, we just happen to have one of our clients come in, and we're just here the other day, and they sell a home backup power. And what was interesting is I was talking to the brand manager, and we were in the midst of putting together a campaign. And I was asking her, I said, so I know you guys have only been in the direct-to-consumer space for a couple of years. This is a almost a half a century old company, and they just been in the direct-to-consumer business for the last few years. And because they've been marketing through traditional channels, catalogs, ads, billboards, inserts, all that kind of stuff. And their product is expensive, and it needs an explanation, because it's a considered purchase that probably takes at least a year for someone who gets that information first, decides that's something they want, then they got to figure out, whatever the reason is, whether it's a budgeting issue or whatever the decision is, it takes about a year for that sales cycle to happen. And I was asking her, well, how big of an impact has direct-to-consumer or performance marketing, how big of an impact has that had on your business? She said it absolutely changed their business. Now, she couldn't get into any facts, but believe me, I know it significantly changed the entire enterprise, to the point where any new product that they have, or any new type of innovation on their core product, is going to be introduced through direct-to-consumer and performance marketing. And that's television, both long form, short form, mid form, social media, direct digital, and all the other channels. They're going to be launched that way. And then I asked her a little bit more. I said, okay, so you have people that sell your product, you have retailers that sell your product, you have mom and pop organizations that sell your product, and you sell direct. How big of an impact does your direct response campaign on TV and social and digital, how much of an impact does it have on all these other channels? She says it absolutely has the biggest impact all over. She even told me when they don't air the show, everything else is affected. And I'm going to say the business units within the enterprise, they can feel it when the direct-to-consumer campaign is off TV or off digital, off social. They actually say, what happened? We're not getting the leads. What's going on? And then when they put the campaign back up, leads come back up and they start getting happy again. So she said it changes their retail business in a positive way. It changes the business they do at their corporate site. It changes the business that happens with their partners and their dealers. It is that big of a halo effect for their business. And why I wanted to end with that, because I wanted to tie that back to where I started today. 5 years ago, they started their direct-to-consumer business because they didn't want to be susceptible to what Home Depot does, or what Lowe's does, or what Ace does, or what other Menards, whatever these other companies that carry their product. They don't want to be susceptible to that. And they actually even scratched their head about doing business on Amazon because of the costs that it does to do that. They like, why do we even do this? It's a headache. The margins aren't there, but the marketplace says they have to be there. So they deal with it. But my point is that they made that investment 5 years ago, and in her words, the company did a 180. They absolutely changed the way they marketed. It meant more profit to the bottom line, and now it's so big. It's such a big part of their business that their business is growing every year. They have bigger, higher goals because of what they started. Now, that's a good problem to have. It's a good problem to be in a situation where You have found your marketing channel that affects everybody else, but it works really hard over many, many channels. And you know that, and I'll use the term that she said, I know the triggers to pull. I know when to throttle down and throttle back. I know what I can do seasonally. Imagine having that information. You have the data that tells you if I spent this, I'm going to get that. If I spent less here, I'm going to save more here. Imagine having that ability. Well, big companies are doing it every day. So back to the original point of Google and Walmart is that company that I talked about is not going to worry about that. That's not part of their worry. Their worry is coming up with new products to sell new products to new businesses to grow their business. That's their worry. That's a good worry, not the worry of, oh my gosh, what are we going to do because all this is happening and I haven't reacted. I've got probably 36 more case studies like that that just happen to be doing it in different ways, in different verticals and all that kind of stuff. But what I want to walk away with today and what I'd like you to take in is that technology is changing the way the marketplace reacts and how they do business. And as business people and as business owners and product owners and service owners, we've got to figure out how to be there where their customer is and how to have blinders on with the big online retailers, the big, the Googles and the Amazon, how to put blinders on and to build your business, because there's a way to go about it. And if you don't start doing it now, I think you're going to regret it in a few years. So I hope that was helpful. Again, I wanted to make it really clear that I can't read the future, but I can certainly look at what's happening today, and I can certainly see how the behaviors are going to affect what we do in the future, and it's already happening. And you need to just start thinking about it. Start doing research. Start thinking about what you're going to do, because I understand in business you got to have sales today. I get that 100%. But you also have to build for the future, because if you don't build for the future, the sales you have today aren't going to get you to the future. So, didn't mean to be on a soapbox today, but I really wanted to talk about that because it was very topical, and not only because it broke out in news, but it also broke out in our own offices talking to our own clients. So, if you have any questions about this, if you have any I would say, peers that could benefit from this information, please share it with them. And, go to scriptedscreen.com and you can leave us a quote or, a question or anything like that. You can hit me up on Instagram or Twitter or LinkedIn and DM me a specific question. Love to answer anything that you have for your businesses, and maybe how direct-to-consumer can help you or not help you. We'll help you figure that out. But we want to be information for you so you can make the right decisions for the future, for the health and benefit of everybody that works at your company and your business. So anyways, that's it for today. I know we're off a day or so this week. Had a lot going on at Script to Screen. Got a couple of big shoots coming in. Had clients flying in. A lot happening. Sorry you missed it, but Jeremy and the team will make sure everybody gets it. So I hope that was beneficial for everybody, and we'll talk to you soon. Thank you.